mind just to meditate. Listen while I educate. I've been busy bridging the gap, so we let's separate. Silence in the syndicate. Close, but we don't get it yet. Traders to the state. I'm Xing out only middlemen.
Time in, y'all. It's time to chime in. The town crier has returned. Back where we belong. Who's with me today? My man, you already know. My man,
Yeah. That's what's up. We're back again. It's another episode.
Nigerian.
Let's go. Okay.
All right. And we got a new face today. We have a guest today, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Marquise Hardrick. Let's give him a hand real quick. You know what I'm saying? He came on because we have a very special topic today. But before we get to the topic, how are you, my brother? How's everything going?
It was good.
Thanks for coming in and chiming in with us, talking to the town.
Welcome to Town Crier, brother.
Indeed. So, what exactly are you a doctor of?
Well,
for the people, of course. I already know.
My doctorate is in social and environmental justice from the Interdenominational Theological Center in Atlanta, Georgia.
Say that real fast 3 times.
ITC.
Yeah. No, that's very cool. Man, it's commendable. You know what I mean?
Appreciate
it. Being that in your doctorate, what is your, I don't know, say major function, or like how do you use your doctorate? In what different aspects of life, professionally or?
All right, so let me attempt to answer it this way. What most people think about doctors is incorrect.
Okay.
One who has a bachelor's degree knows pretty good information about varied things and a little more specialized in a particular thing.
Right.
Master's degree, you emphasize a little more in a particular doctrine.
Okay.
A doctorate, you drill in, meaning that whatever your subject matter is, you are the expert in that one particular subject matter.
Gotcha.
Right. And so to get to your, and so my subject matter was not necessarily about the environment. My personal degree wasn't about the environment that we go outside in, right?
Right.
It is more about the environment of the community and space that we live in.
Oh, okay.
Right. But to also get to your question, how do I use it? Well, the educational space, the getting of the degree teaches you how to learn. Okay. It taught me how to research. And so even though it may not be something that's in my particular discipline, it gave me the tools by which to
approach it properly.
Gotcha. And find and to have also a particular mindset when going into trying to find answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah. And so it retrained my way of thinking.
And you can approach just about every aspect of life with that process, kind of.
Correct.
Got you.
Interesting.
It's like scientific method in a way, but for your field. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Correct. Yeah. These are the steps by which
exactly
whatever you want to figure out and learn.
All right. Well, did he kind of sort of?
Right. I mean, that's very interesting. And we need a lot of experts, more people like you in our community, of course, and it's not going to hurt. Yeah. Information from an expert.
No, indeed. And it's actually going to help out our topic for the day, and which is, of course, what month are we in? We are in Black History Month. Mid-February. Of course, ironically, the shortest month of the year, but we're going to make it happen. You know what I mean? Either way.
Well, wait. So let me. February is very special to me.
Okay.
Because my birthday is February 13th, which was Friday the 13th. Wow. This past Friday. Mm-hmm. Now let me tell you about February.
Okay.
February is the best month in the entire year.
Oh, well, I'm debating. I'm doubting that.
No.
Go ahead.
Right.
I come with proof.
Okay. Let's hear it.
It is so special.
Oh, because Valentine's Day?
No, well, that too. But it's so special that you all can't handle too much of it.
Oh my goodness! You hear
And
this?
so we give you 28 days. Just, that's as much. And then every now and again, every 4 years,
How does that leap year thing?
we give you an
figure
extra
into
day. See, that's just how potent February
Oh my
is.
goodness! Oh my God!
That says a lot.
Basically saying less is more. I got you.
That says a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
with your February. But seriously, Black History Month is. It's a weird time for us. It's supposed to be a celebration of the things we've done, what we've accomplished, which has been a lot more than people actually truly realize. But, even now when I'm looking on social media, I'm seeing a lot of the travesties and things that have happened to us. But I don't even want to get into that right now. When we go over this, I actually want to approach this scientific method a little bit, kind of like how we just talked about it. And one of the things that I definitely want to talk about first are some of the things that we actually have accomplished that a lot of people don't realize, that some of the things that we are the creators of. And there's a couple of things that I looked up that I didn't read that I realized that we created. So Garrett Morgan, he created the 3-position traffic light, which was cool. You know what I'm saying? And we need that or else it'd be a lot more.
That's great. That's a very great invention.
Absolutely. Refrigerated trucks, Frederick Jones. Home security systems, Marie Van Britton Brown. Fiber optics, which, are you kidding, is all over the place. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
Shirley Jackson.
That's pretty big.
Laser cataract removal, Patricia Bath. It's a long list of things. I just wanted to make sure some of those names, some people got there to do air conditioning.
Right.
David Crossway, the first open heart surgery. It gets really, really extensive as far as the things we've done, but you really just never hear about this stuff anymore. And,
I mean, the way they say, who feels it knows it all. I mean, you have to tell your own story. A lot of people, a lot of time emphasize on history being his story. So, yeah, I agree with you. This has never been taught enough, especially one like me. I'm not African American, and obviously the influence of African American, Black Americans, cannot be underestimated. You see what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I believe in one of the questions that we're going to ask later about how non-African American Blacks actually feel about, American Blacks and the plight and the things that,
I mean, you don't want to get caught up. Yeah, it's a good question, but you understand what's going on. You got to understand something. Folks in Africa are like folks over here. The education, the information they got was actually, one-sided, and it wasn't like always. So it's still the same. So ignorance is something that we both share to a large extent on both sides. So that being said, we have to think about mending up things and the bridges. You see what I'm saying?
No, indeed.
And it was the same thing here. The educational system back home in Africa. Reading it comes from England. Macmillan and comes from England. It wasn't like our educational system was like formed or formulated by our ancestors, our great kings, and everything. That wasn't the case. It was a Western system of what's it called? Indoctrination. Yeah, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Can I jump in there?
Yeah, for sure.
So one of the things that I am theologically trained.
Okay.
And there's can I read it, just a scripture?
Please.
In Joshua, the 4th chapter, verse 21 and 22, it says this. He said to the Israelites, in the future, when your descendants ask their parents, what do these stones mean? Tell them Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground. So that's the scripture. So let me place context on it. The biblical story narrates that Moses brought the children of Israel out of Egypt.
Right.
And they crossed the Red Sea. They were in the wilderness for 40 years. Moses dies. Joshua then takes charge. They're still in the wilderness. God points Joshua in the direction toward the promised land.
Right.
But they have a problem. Now they have the Jordan, which is in flood season. It's another river that they must cross. And God holds up the water and allows them to cross the Jordan River.
Right.
In the midst of that, God asked the priests to go and get 12 stones, one from each tribe, and take them out of the middle of the river and create an altar on the other side of the river where they just crossed, and to create this altar so that future generations, whenever they see and they may ask, what do these stones mean? They are to tell the story of, basically, African Americans would say, how we made it over.
Okay.
And so what this is telling us the importance of us telling our stories, right? Because if we allow someone else to dictate our stories, well, they tell us the story from their one vantage point, but also slanted with their agenda.
Yes.
The narrative is all about their agenda, right? When they first went to colonize Africa, they came as friends. Then they came as missionaries. Then they came with guns. Why do they come in that order?
Kind of lower your defenses a little bit to the point where you're not thinking they're a threat. And then by the time you realize it, it's too late.
The friend was the defense. The missionary was to get rid of your story and take ours. The gun, that was to take over everything. And I've already tried to brainwash you with my story and my understanding and get rid of your story and to make you feel that your story is inferior. And so I no longer tell. It is now taboo for my story. You understand?
Yeah.
And I also now detach you from your history. I detach you from your past.
Wow.
I detach you from your story altogether. And when you become detached from your story, from your ancestors, from your good and bads, you become easy prey. So it's important that we tell our stories, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, and that we tell them.
See, that was question 3, y'all. He's already jumping down.
Okay.
We getting there, but you saw we got a lot. More important, don't forget to like and subscribe to this. We got a lot to talk about tonight, and we're not gonna waste no more time. What do you think about that, Kay?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I was gonna say like and subscribe and leave a comment.
No, about what he said.
I heard what he said. I heard what you said.
I'm just messing with
I
you.
heard what you said.
And actually, you could speak more to that part, even more. Well, not more so, but like you said, this is Black History Month. Mm-hmm. But that part right there speaks to you. You see, from Nigeria.
Yeah. I mean, like the brother said, my brother here, Slaughter, and it's basically, I think African Americans has done so much, and you mentioned a few points. A lot has been undermined by, a lot of mechanism. It's been a lot of, it's been a long time coming. You see what I'm saying? So that couldn't have been a better time,
I'm saying as coming from a colonized country.
Yeah.
And my statements about friend, missionary, gun.
You got a solid point, and I didn't want to emphasize the need. Like, again, I don't want to take away what we're saying. This topic, this episode, is a lot about African Americans and Black History Month. Now, based on what you're saying, like I said earlier here, we had a conversation. Africa is the most potent continent on the planet. You see what I'm saying? And one of the blames that I have for our people is that we're very docile, right? And this comes from what you mentioned, from the education, how we've been fed, what we know. Because, everything that happened, I said that earlier, United States, greatest country in the planet, human resources from Africa built this nation, or was part of it. And again, I was trying to make a little point. Again, Europe, Africa has been robbed of so many mineral resources and materials and just like treasures. You see what I'm saying? And
is it really?
but again, look how docile our government is. I mentioned something earlier. Africa, a lot that's going on with Africa is based on neo-colonialism. And that's why you mentioned China earlier coming to Africa and being embraced, because what has been going on, it has not been all the way freedom and big up yourself, develop your country. I see a lot on social media, people question, why you out here and why can't you make your country great? Neo-colonialism was not thought to a lot of people. I don't know if we know much about it. The countries were free. The countries supposedly have independence, but they're not free. There were mechanisms that were set up before the masters left. I always say something, hey, look up to the United States, right? See what happens. That's real independence. You had a fight with England. In some countries, you hand over power, and there was some kind of negotiations. If you want power, you got to fight for it.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if it's not. I don't know if it's that we're docile. We're a peaceful people, whether people really understand.
We are. I'll tell you. No. My ancestors. My ancestors. No, but understand something. Being docile does not mean you're powerless. Understand something. Why our ancestors? We have a lot of blame. You can imagine at some point, some of my great ancestors met these people in the first time. And one of the reasons they were able to take over is hospitality. One word. We're the most hospitable people on the planet. And hospitality sometimes could be like / docility. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's not the same.
Take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah, that's where I'm going, right? So what happened? You heard it. There used to be no emperors in the West. Alexander the Great came to Egypt and saw King Pharaoh. Was the first emperor. It was like, a king whom other kings have to bow for. We had everything, and consider what happened to us when they came. Because you understand, when they came, they were being showered by princesses. I lived in Europe. I went to about 20 European countries. And they came to us, all the villages, places they went, was mad receptive. They had women's, they gave them a place to sleep. So, our kindness was misused and misunderstood, or capitalized on, not even misunderstood.
So I would argue that we have maternal and paternal instincts for the world.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, oftentimes, so we were so far along. When I say we, I mean African countries or tribes, lands, mm-hmm. right? That they came and they saw what we had. I still hold on to African American, right? One of the greatest resources that they took out of Africa was us. Mm-hmm. My story does not begin with slavery. My story begins where your story begins. You understand?
Where does my story begin?
On the homeland.
Before slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Our story. That's the story of everybody. That's why I told someone I was in Sweden, right? I went to Sweden, and I had a host with the host family. They were Swedish, and along the line I've seen writings on stones from Vikings from old time. This was outside Stockholm, in the bushes, and mm-hmm. So I was having a conversation, and I cracked up something like, "Hey, you must be great. Your ancestors were great Vikings," and he laughed. what is there to be great about? All they did was, do this robbing, killing. So that's what I'm saying. So basically,
going with what you just said, I don't know if you heard yourself. All of our stories. Did you hear yourself say that? Did you mean to say that?
All of our stories.
All of our stories.
Yeah.
Humanity's stories.
Yes.
Which goes back to my original statement, is that we have an internal, maternal, and paternal relationship.
I heard that.
With the world.
I heard that.
And parents oftentimes see their kids acting up and they're like, you know what, they just got to learn. And we'll help them learn. And we have a heart of forgiveness and a heart for giving opportunity that if they learn, maybe hopefully they'll do, if you know better, you'll do better. And we had, from what I have studied, had that kind of heart. And so we opened ourselves up historically from a maternal and paternal mindset to hopefully teach these persons that are coming who didn't even know how to bathe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who in the great castles of old, you went in the corner to defecate and urinate. There was no toiletry and plumbing.
It's like we assumed the civility was already there.
No, we understood that they did not have it. And the reason why they're acting this way because they're coming from this space. And so if we teach them, then they will mature, they will become better. And so the original, from my honest, opening came from that mindset, right? And then it just went a whole nother place. Why is that important? Because even here in America, we still have that same mindset. African Americans, right? And so in every struggle, you've seen the Black woman forgiving, hoping for better, even while she sees the others taking advantage. She always hopes for better if they just learn. If they, they'll mature, they'll grow, right? And that's something we brought from the homeland that I believe that we have to now learn and say, look, you see what they did to the homeland, right? We might need to learn something.
Yeah.
Because they're doing these same games, and we're the minorities.
Seriously. And
go ahead.
It's a lot to digest.
What are your thoughts about what I just said?
You said a lot, though.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to digest. It really is, because it makes you.
But hey, y'all, for all you guys out there, you hear what we're talking about. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you think about these issues.
We're going to get back to that because I didn't even get to my list of questions.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's the whole purpose of this. Okay. Question number 1. Finally, here we go.
All right. Go ahead.
Being a Black American, understanding the journey we've gone through as a people, where would you rate our evolution thus far since we've been granted freedom? How far would you say we've evolved? I don't want to give it a scale of 1 to 10 to cheap it on.
Define what do you mean by evolution?
So, obviously, to go from a place of no freedom, suffering this, and that is one thing. But as far as in society, we still looked at a pretty, not as high as we should. Some have achieved more. Some, a lot of us in the, in general, like, I guess maybe just, not just financially.
You're talking about social stratification, like stratification.
I guess how we're perceived
in the hierarchy, the society,
in
like
the hierarchy
of
the
society.
United States.
How we're perceived.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, consider where we came from. We're strides from where we way exponentially better situation than obviously back during slavery days. But as far as where you think we should be to where we are? Do you think we've exceeded where you think we should be? Do you think we still got a long ways to go? Do you think we're on like the tip of?
How much time do I have?
That's the whole thing, you know.
I mean, because that's a very loaded question.
It's beyond loaded, you know. But if you could sum it up to a degree,
you said since slavery or since when?
Since let's say Jim Crow. Let's say after slavery.
Since
Let's
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow.
Let me say this. Let me start here.
Okay.
We are most definitely feared.
Still feared. And I say still feared, but okay.
Yeah. Not. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about those of the other persuasion on the ground level. Even that too. And the ground level is just being manipulated by those in higher places.
Right.
You got me? Those in higher places are scared because they know something about us that they're going to make sure, have been making sure, that they try to ensure that we don't know or find out who we are. Right? So
we don't truly understand the strength that we do have. That's what I was kind of saying.
Who we are as people in our genetics, in our DNA. It's in our DNA.
Okay.
DNA is just memory cells. Let me ask you a question. You can Google it.
Okay.
Melanin, the chemicals.
Yep.
Are memory cells.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they're even trying to harvest melanin now.
Now that I've heard.
But because of a lot of it has to do with the memory capabilities within melanin.
Wow.
All right. Why is that important? There are memories that are locked in us that if we ever connect with it, they are afraid of what will happen because they're trying to maintain power. They're trying to maintain control.
It's
right?
funny that actually connects real closely to a question I have later on. But keep.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So,
what about you, Kay? What do you think about what you saying so far?
Yeah, bro, it's deep.
So, people don't put so much intentionality into something they don't care about.
Before we even go there, so for people that really don't know what melanin is it gives us not just the strength within our pigmentation,
part of it is pigmentation.
Right. It's it's the I guess it's what gives us our color, whatever, the sun, vitamin D gives us our strength, it fuels melanin, so on and so forth for those who didn't know.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And so let's just use common sense. Who's the best basketball team right now?
That's a tough question.
OKC.
One of the best. Just name one.
The scores and shit.
Let's think. Okay, they were the champs last year. So let's say they injured, but OKC. Go ahead.
OKC.
Yep.
Okay.
Type C.
Would OKC be overly concerned with going to play a high school basketball team?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
They could put their backup squad on and they would destroy them. Absolutely.
Correct. Right. But would the worst? Who's one of the worst professional teams?
Brooklyn Nets.
Hey man, I was at the game. Every time I go to see the Nets, they win. I was at the Chicago game the other night.
Yeah.
So we gonna stop there. All right. So if the Nets are playing OKC at home,
Yep.
right? The Nets are probably be really mindful and practice whatever. I mean, they like on point in trying to beat OKC. Right? Here's the difference. The team that's really not overly concerned with the other team, it ain't on their mind that much.
Right.
The team that knows that the opposing team is very powerful, very strong, is deeply on their minds.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you see what is going on within the power structures of our communities, which team do you see? I would say you see the other people really has we on their mind.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Well, that means that you know something. Because why would we be on your mind if we are nothings? If we are unintelligent, if we are not powerful, then why would we be on your mind so much?
It's true. It's like saying we can't leave our bench players in too long. We got to keep the starters in to make sure we keep them down.
They don't take their starters out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hear me?
It's quite a way to put it.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. Do you think that they are so adamant about going after Native Americans? From what you can see.
Now, shout out to the Native American community. We've spoken. No, listen. A previous pod, you haven't gotten it. I'm just shouting them out because they definitely are. And thanks for y'all chiming in as well. But continue, please.
Okay, my statement is not. Let me be clear.
I say it was derogatory.
Yeah.
What
I'm saying is those who are making manipulative, who are creating laws, right? The intentionality of trying to intentionally, nationally
subjugate
is not the same.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just said, and the reason I said Native Americans because they were the first ones here. They're the ones that had the most issues with these people.
I mentioned that. Listen.
Yeah. So that's why I chose the Native Americans.
And it makes I mentioned that too in one of the other pods. But yeah.
So hopefully, if you listen, you got to my last part. I chose them because they are the ones who have been dealing with these people the longest.
And not just that, but they had one of the most dedicated subjugation programs that have ever been seen.
Correct.
And that's kind of why I mentioned it in a previous pod as well.
Correct.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So we got more questions. We're staying. It's Black History Month. It's Black History Month. It's a time to remember African Americans, Black Americans in the United States.
Not just Black Americans. It's Black history. It's all Black. It's not just American.
Don't get it twisted. I understand and thank you for being generous enough to want to share this with all Blacks. But precisely, we know this is for African Americans. Okay,
I hear that.
African Americans came through a lot, and again, it didn't even stop there because folks like myself and Black people from outside the United States that got here. And in more than one or two ways, African Americans are inspiration for Black people all over the world. African Americans are transcending in so many social evolving issues. And even overseas, people love them, in Africa, in Europe, everywhere. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
and one of the saddest part is, I could probably say the smallest percentage in the world of Black Americans have actually been to Africa. It's probably such a small percent. What would you, if you had to guess, what percent of?
So listen to Star. I'm gonna say something. I was gonna send it to you. Shout out to Star Report, to the Star Report. I used to listen to the Star Report. He got a podcast. Star. You know him, Star. He used to be on the radio and shit. So anyway, but yesterday he had a podcast. Yesterday.
You mean Star Buck Wild?
Yeah. So yesterday he had a show. And he was about something about Africans. He was emphasizing on, how hungry, how hardworking they are. And I think he said he went online to do something, freelancers and something, and some dude helped him from Nigeria and stuff, and the amount was fair and everything. But anyway, what I'm saying is, for African Americans are very impactful. And everybody, again, I'm gonna bring a coloration between this, because this is what Town Crier was all about from the inception. Mm-hmm. He's African American, I'm African, we're like brothers from different mothers. How can we bridge together to talk about these topics that can unite us?
That truly was the epicenter of what this show was completely supposed to be about.
Yeah.
The disconnect between Black Americans and Africa.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying. So again, African Americans have been very influential. That's what I'm saying. Even from a basic standpoint, you're a Black person, not from the United States. You get to the United States, and don't get it twisted. You don't have to get to the United States to recognize Black Americans. We all seen the movies.
Right.
We all seen the movies. We all heard the music. We all heard the songs. Like, you don't even understand the impact of African Americans outside. You can't understand it. I was in Europe, and I know sometimes we used to say, I used to get, I don't want to say it, but anyway, just even from the lyrics of hip hop and rap music, So African Americans has been very impactful, to say the least.
I hear that.
Yeah, in every way. And just look about the impact it has in sports in the United States. Yeah. It brings to the United States. A few years ago, I started watching, I was watching soccer. I love soccer. Mm-hmm. And a few years ago at the World Cup, you realize, like the French team, right? You should have like 7, 8 Black people. These Black brothers are from Africa. Yeah. All of them are from Africa.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But in the 80s, in the World Cup, it wasn't like that. It's all white French people. But I'm saying, again, not only this, African American has been able to prove themselves. United States won a lot of gold in the Olympics, Carl Lewis, in all sorts of events, mixed. He mentioned melanin. Okay, what about the physical attributes of Black folks? It wasn't happening in the 80s in Europe. You didn't see this. Today, German team has a Black individual in the national team. The Belgium team have a Black individual. Most of these teams, and everybody's even realizing how Hescalin, or almost how impossible it is to have a regular team and to win against the French team. That's where Mbappe is. Some guys, they are like robots. They're like machines. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So African Americans, nevertheless, in more than one ways, have been able to sell themselves and to prove themselves. Huh? Yeah, people watch sports. People see the impact. Right. People see them jubilating. You see what I'm just from common sense. You don't have to like nothing special. Yeah. People see them. They're winners. They're winning. We love the songs. People when you recant or you sing, you rehearsing a song. Hmm? You know how many people love Whitney Houston? People love Michael. People love Bobby Brown. People love what you want me to say, bro? Yeah. People love these people, bro. African Americans could have been individually the most liked people from the United States as a country. Mm. African Americans are loved. They are liked. They are cherished. They are admired.
Oh, listen, that's incredible to hear. Right now, he's passing it over right now. Biologically, through memory-like skin response, melanin memory, and technological via neuro-inspired computing, rather than strong cognitive human memories.
They're putting melanin to run computers.
That means the AI robots are going to be melanized.
Correct.
Lined up. Terminators running through the streets.
So again, Slaughter, like I said again, not undermining, we're in February. Let's make this a lot about, African Americans and the Black History Month.
Bro, we do the road.
About a lot of impact, about a lot of social impact. Right. You're not even trying to delve into some kind of astronomical or some kind of esoteric information or knowledge, just contemporary stuff.
All right, correct. Let's keep rolling. Here we go. Check.
Let's go.
Next question. So everyone knows about most people know about the Black diaspora via the slave trade from Africa, not only in America, but in the Caribbean as well.
I never answered your question, I believe. The first one.
About how far we've
yes. Okay.
Okay.
I think that in some areas we've come a long ways.
Okay.
But it has been at an expense.
Kind of like one step forward, two steps back sometimes.
We got what we didn't have, but we lost what we did.
Okay. Okay.
In many aspects.
Can I say something real quick? I want to say something real quick. This is something that has come from me, and this is African History Month, Black American, Black History Month. Like, African Americans have, like the most impact what African Americans has done, or like for coming from, for me, I think African Americans, Black Americans are the highest, have attained and have reached the highest point that Black people as a person, and most importantly as a group, have reached in anywhere in the world.
Wow.
So listen, so we can't go too far to find the accolades. Again, as an African, and I hear a lot of things going on, and even speaking from my knowledge about Caribbean, and like I said again, African Americans in the United States, Black Americans, they have attained, listen, United States is #1 country in the world. Facebook, Zuckerberg, iPhone, every technology, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. African Americans are from here. So in other words, the most competition, what is the edge of the United States going to war with all these other countries? They've not fought a war in the last 20 years. United States been active, United States, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm saying, so the African American as a people, tremendous, as an ethnic, or not even a foreign ethnic minority, because they are, in some cases, a lot of people believe they're kind of bona fide to this land as well. Black people are bona fide in every land in the world, in Asia, from the Aborigines to Europe. We went up north from Africa. We formed Europe, Asia, America, South America, every other place, which is why I said Africa is the only natural habitat for humans on the planet as a whole. Every other planet tomorrow can run out of food and resources. But Africa is the habitat that was made for human beings, or else tomorrow will become transhumanism is possible and everything happens. But for as long as it is, but I want to go back to what I'm saying about African Americans, because this is very important. People think about Africa and think about Africa's Stone Ages and everything, and whatever you think about Black people in Caribbean or any part of the world. But African Americans is our most jewel in that point. Look at the likes of, rest in peace, Jesse Jackson.
That's right.
Oprah, Obama. What are some of these guys you mentioned earlier, that these great inventors of African American? Mm-hmm. And just imagine how far they have come. Okay, the White House is the most powerful seat of power on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. You had Obama is half African American. Mm-hmm. Huh? Right? Yo, and forget even getting to the White House, the impact, congressmen, but I'm saying this again, like coming from Africa where the government is very corrupt. Obviously, we have a lot of resources, we lack infrastructure, and in most countries where Black people are, these things, they lack these social amenities, okay? But again, African Americans, they have been in that position, and they are in that position, and I think they really are the top of the hemisphere of this, of the, what you call it, what you call this? The social hierarchy for Black people, social stratification. You know what I'm saying? But for Black folks, yeah, stratificationally speaking, okay, right? And for black folks, you come into the world social stratification, black people in general comes below. You know, you see these, there, black people, Caucasians, Asians, black. But I'm saying for black folks, all over the world, African America has to be on top to lead us, because they've been more aware, more conversant. They are in the more promising, in the most prospective country.
No, that's pretty real. Now, it's weird because we have trouble dealing with our own stuff while we're here and thinking, you know,
it doesn't matter. It's the challenges.
But it's funny. You never look at it from somebody else's
to whom much is given, much is expected.
No, indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
The art of war and the rules of engagement talked about a lot to gain in loss. Okay.
All right.
You're winning all the time. Okay. Everything remains the same. Guess what? It's good to win, but that's why if you know, you know. There's a lot of jewel in loss.
All right.
Okay.
No, check. Good.
So, I want you to look at this.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me, so what you're looking at is wealth between blacks and whites as it grew between 1960 and 2000, what does it say?
2010.
10. All right. And so between 1960 and 2010, it was a very small growth, almost stagnant.
Right.
Right? Whereas you see other, that one's just only dealing with black and white. I don't want to just make it a black and white thing. But how it surges.
Right.
Right? So you ask me, how are we? And my statement was, we went up in space in some ways, but we also lost in some ways.
Right.
Right? And so that means stagnant.
Yeah.
Right? So for instance, what do I mean by that? And I'm not saying go back to segregation by any means.
No. Mm-hmm.
Right? But during segregation, because we had no choice, we had to circulate the dollar within our communities. We had the black doctor, the black lawyer, the black teacher, the black street sweeper, the black candy store, the black whatever, and so money circulated, because nobody wanted ours, right? And so what has happened is
the powers that be decided
they opened up the ability to receive our dollars, and we became socially manipulated. Even before social media, they did it through TV ads. They did it through magazines, socially manipulating African Americans and women.
Yeah.
Of both of all races. And what it did to our community is we no longer have Tulsa, Oklahoma. We no longer have a Rosewood, Florida. We no longer have Overtown, which is in the heart of Miami black neighborhood.
Yeah.
We no longer have Seneca Village here in New York.
Central Park.
We no longer have Sweet Auburn Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia, right? And so we have been given access, and we have a lot more access, but we don't have more wealth.
Yeah.
We have.
You think it's more the lack of financial literacy? Really understanding how money works in today's world,
and again,
not actually, that's kind of how I feel.
I think it's tokens and carrots.
Meaning what?
What I mean by tokens and carrots, carrot at a rabbit race, you keep the carrot, or the dog race, you keep the carrot in front of you, keep moving it.
Got you.
And you always running in hopes to get the carrot. right?
The faster you run, the faster it runs.
The faster it runs, the faster it moves, right? And so if I make 10, I give you 10 black billionaires, right? While at the same time, I'm putting these individuals in front of you and giving you hope. But at the same time, I'm creating laws and creating structures and socially manipulating you, knowing that you will never be one. But I give you hope, and while I'm giving you hope, guess what? How I'm giving you hope? I'm saying if you buy this brand, if you get this will be, you get these symbols of status, which is taking money out of your pocket, making you less wealthy, right?
But you know what? I want to say something, and it's good that you vary or that you are, what's the word? You want more and you expect more. But maybe coming from where you're coming from or being African American, I know what you're saying, like how much they've achieved in economic sense. Obviously, there's economic inequality, inequity. But I want to look at it based on the triumphs of African Americans. It is Black History Month. A lot of people emphasized on how other people who are not African American, who came here and who enjoy some of the fruits of civil rights. Now, these are like episodes, impacts, and scenarios and situations or circumstances where African Americans led and fought, and in some cases died. Mm-hmm. I used to listen to Dick Gregory, may he rest in peace. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know he was part of the march and everything. A lot of great guys, Martin, Mm-hmm. So even if to some extent today there's still economic inequity, I don't think that African Americans should keep their shoulders down.
I'm not suggesting that.
I know you, and I know you're not. I'm just saying, for Black History Month, to big up Black American achievement, transcending legacies that are priceless. It has not been bought so far. Nobody paid for it, but we know it's priceless.
It has been paid for.
But again, you can live up, like you said, that's been paid for, and you can live off the glory of your ancestors.
You can.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
You could, because like someone like me, I'm not African American. Mm-hmm. You're African American. You have great ancestors. Mm-hmm. You walk like this. Mm-hmm. I told you something one day. He called me on the phone. He's not happy. Like you said, you can't. No, you can't. I told him, happiness. When I was little, I used to think you have to. My job can make me happy, or my girl, or something. Mm-hmm. No, happiness is one of those things that is in us.
In you.
So how you think someone is going to say, oh, you know what? Oh, let me do something so you're going to feel bad, and then you're going to feel bad? No. I said, if a situation arises where you're uncomfortable, conjure yourself, the subhuman, learn to conjure yourself, make yourself happy. Mm-hmm. But you don't think it's possible until you're conscious and until you try it. It's like meditation.
Okay, so let me go off what you just said. Notice what I said. I said that they give us an image of what success looks like, and the generations that are coming up is running after carrots, and those carrots are not happiness, because all of those things are external. What you just said is dead on the money. Is that happiness is something you have to find within. And so they are socially manipulating the generations coming up behind us to make them think that happiness is all external. Now, in doing that, they are leeching the wealth out of the community, right? And in this country, let me put it this way. You can't live off of the glory of your parents. I don't know how you got here. Your parents got here, or you came on your own?
No, I got here on I didn't get on my parents.
Okay, all right, okay. So let's pretend like they did, right? And so your parents did whatever they had to do to get you here so that you now can run your race. And then you pick up the baton and you run your race so that your child can be further down the line, stronger, right? And so what I'm saying
let me say something based on what you said again. No. I know where you're going. Let me say something again. I used to tell people about Job in the Bible because you mentioned the Bible. So I was based on what you're saying about how I'm going to look and stuff. I know what you're saying, but today people holler at Job and respect his story. But that's because you now know that it was God that made him poor, stinky, with disease on his body. But I told the other day, because some of my brothers are richer than I, I'm not poor. But I told her, be careful your barometer for likeness of your and your children. What is your barometer? Because now I grew up, some are richer than me, but I'm telling you, hey, woman, know this. Because understand, I told her too about the Job thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like somehow they want to look at you like, oh, don't you see? You're still here, and this what happened. Look at your brother. But that's what I'm saying. Like instances of this in life always happens. But hey, that's why I went to Job again in the Bible. He had everything. But it was an exemplary life. And I told my brother I was going through a hard time. It's not only when it's good for you, because it's easy. That's why I always bring about Job. It's easy to reflect now and say him that God made. No, think about it in real time. When people were looking at him with his corn, with long faces, spotting on him. He had rashes on his body. He lost everything. It was rashes. So I wouldn't, that's why I'm judging African Americans, and I wouldn't judge people on their physical accomplishments or material accomplishment, even if that matters. Society teaches.
What would you put it on?
For a people like African American,
off the table. Give me a number.
Because I got to take wealth, because I also know that money was man-made, wealth was man-made. There has to be transaction in this earth without money.
Off the table.
Yeah,
tell me what else.
About wealth.
Take wealth off the table.
Yeah.
Tell me something else. I'll give you one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Community involvement.
Mm-hmm. I was listening to you speak. I'll let you speak, because you were saying something earlier about the community, how you say how we lost this, how y'all lost this in African America. You can talk to a child, a little child makes a mistake. So one of the most unique things about Africans, I'm going to tell you the truth, is that it takes a village to raise a child.
That's right.
And it's not a fluke. I heard it today again on the radio. Mm-hmm. Nigerians are the most educated ethnic minorities in the United States, more than the Asians. Is the only foreign ethnic minority in the United States that's more educated than the Chinese and the Japanese and the Asians. But again, somehow you don't hear about it, but somehow you hear about this, okay? So again, and I want to say this out loud to people who listen to the program from overseas and everything. Mm-hmm. It takes more than a kiss to make a baby, to raise a baby. Mm-hmm. And then, a lot of people emphasize sometimes on Africans or foreign people from Caribbeans, how they were able to survive overseas and without nobody and make it. And the tenacity comes from discipline. And
let's talk about discipline. And you think that we're more disciplined now?
I'm gonna say something again. African Americans become a lot of champions in boxing, right?
You're jumping off topic.
Yeah, but listen.
That's the thing. But he did two questions. You went two different times.
Okay,
hold on. But let's stay what he said about community. Go back to that one right there. Go back to that community. Our sense of community.
So I'm not saying there is no sense of community. I'm saying, like I said again, let me come back to what I'm saying. Like you brought me back is good. So people always say to me, oh, these Africans, this Caribbean, how they survive. Okay. Because coming up, that's why they say when an old man dies in Africa, it's like a community library is burnt. I heard that from Confucius, by the way, but it's real life. Because in Africa, you see, we didn't write books. Our ancestors, they used to talk it. You saw those movies, those old English movies, great movies. Before the king died, he always told someone to call his son. And somehow they're always alive until the son comes. You see, as soon as they finish saying that, they dies.
Okay, appreciation for the ancestors.
You're making, because again,
that's what I'm saying. All of these things that we're naming,
you saw what I said earlier,
is less than what they were.
If your house is not built on the Bible said it, the book said it. The book said, build your stuff on the ground that could withstand the test of time and stuff. So these are the components that make a great family, a great community. By the community all partaking, by discipline, and share respect. When I came to Europe for the first time,
before we go to Europe, this is why I'm breaking all of these points up. Your question was, are we in a better place than we were in the Jim Crow ways?
Right.
And my statement was that in some ways we are. But what we did not have, a lot of those things we have been able to obtain. But in many ways, what we did have has taken several steps back.
And we had them out of necessity, but it doesn't even matter. We had them.
Correct.
You know?
So the sense of community, a sense of discipline, right? And all those things we just named, right? And so why is it important that I'm trying to say these things? Because in order to fix a thing, you have to name that thing.
You have to identify the problem.
You have to identify it, right? And so what I'm saying is that going back to the stones of the text, that we have. What is the importance of Black History Month? It is to remind people of what we come from.
That's right.
Where notice I said that my story does not begin on a plantation, right? And so, so part of what I need to happen this month, say, hey, let's look at where we are as a people, right? And what is the trajectory that we are on, right? And so I just used the wealth piece to say, hey, because most people say, we're doing so much better than we were financially in the 1960s. Well, that's not true. We're not, right?
The proof was right there in the pudding.
Yeah, so that's why I use that.
Inflation, we're actually doing worse.
Worse, correct, right? And so we're not. So let's debunk that.
Yeah.
That we're doing so much better now than we were then. You know why we're doing better as well? Because we had we had factory jobs that we were able to get into. We had oftentimes more so 2-parent households out of necessity.
Yeah.
Right now, some of those households were problematic, and they stayed because of necessity. Yeah. But I'm saying that the trajectory we are on, we are a great people. Were, are, and forever shall be. Right? But we have to take a hard pause and say, hey, where are we as a whole? What's the trajectory that we're on? Let's stop chasing carrots and look at realities and say, okay, now that we can name some areas that we need to work on, let's start working on those, right? And so, again, your question, are we better? My answer is, some ways yes, some ways no.
And you explained it better.
Yes.
Explained it better.
And once we do this, we can then make the trajectory better and not be stagnant.
So in trying to kind of bridge that gap, forget about the question list. We've gone so far off the question list. We're going to have a part 2 to this. I got a feeling, trust me. And of course, we were missing the artist formerly known as A Boogie. She will,
Hey guys, don't forget to like, share your thoughts, and subscribe. And Slaughter, this is not going to end without me as an outsider. I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
This is very peculiar to me, and it's a very peculiar month for African Americans, obviously Black History Month. What are some of the most peculiar qualities of African American as an African American?
Peculiar meaning like strange?
No, like best qualities of you.
Tenacity.
Yeah, I want to hear some of them. Yeah,
well, tenacity is one. Let's put it like this: our ability to be versatile. We could be at the top of the world or at the bottom of the world and still find a way to keep our energy, our strength, and kind of make it happen. It's not like
That's
back
real.
in the days when the stock crashed. You never see nobody black jumped off of the top of the Empire State Building because the stock market went down. That's not how we roll. You know what I mean? And to us, it's our spirit. You know what I mean? Staying alive. 'Cause we're people of hope. You know what I mean? We're definitely people of hope. And the thing about it is, we have a strong faith background. We had to, considering what we went through.
That's crazy you saying this,
back
bro.
in the day, and that was actually one of the questions on my list. Now that
That's
we've
powerful.
gotten to achieve a bit more, do you feel the faith thing has started to dwindle a little bit as we have? You see many people thanking God, glory to God for this at the end of the basketball, to a degree it almost feels cliche. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell some people really mean it. You know what I mean? But some people, but at the same time, you don't hear a lot of kids now talking about their religion and their faith. A lot of times people are waiting until they get older to all of a sudden kind of get into it. And I guess my question is, how do we get the youth more to understand that we are God?
This is something for another day, because I have so much to say about this.
It's a lot.
I have so much to say about this, but I'm just trying to keep it for Black History Month. Trust me.
Yeah. Listen,
I'm trying to stay here.
While we here, I'm gonna tell my personal belief. There's no doubt in my mind that God exists and He's been in my life. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of people don't believe in something that you can't see. You know what I'm saying? They want provable facts. Now, obviously, I can't ever say I've seen God. But the one thing that I have seen, and I put my hand on the Bible, I've seen this. I've seen a ghost before. And it's no doubt that I've seen it because I know who the ghost was. And I'm going to tell you this story. I don't really share this story too much. My father was married to a beautiful woman. She lived in Rochdale in Queens, shout out to Queens. And they were married, and at one point they broke up, and she stayed in the apartment, and he left, and she was murdered in that apartment by a jealous lover, wouldn't live without her, tortured the whole nine. And she kind of lived like a pack rat. She had a lot of mountains of stuff in her house and such, and she actually had a lot of money buried in the house all over the place. So after she passed, my father took over the apartment. He had a different woman he was with, and my brother-in-law, and he said to us, I want y'all to look through this whole house, all this mountains of such and such, this and that, and whatever you find, you can keep half. And this was thousands, 9,000 in the freezer, buried all over the place. So of course, we two thirsty kids, we tore through everything. And I only found a jar full of rare coins, but that wasn't the kicker. The kicker was that night, the next morning, I was laying in the bed.
It's crazy now. Will give me goosebumps right now.
Right out of the wall, it was her in a white dress. I put my hand on the Bible, I saw this. And I know the contours of her face. She was in a white dress, and I'm not 4 or 5, I was 13. You know what I'm saying? 14. And she floated right in front of me and out the window. The only thing I don't remember is if I tried to say her name, and I think I did, but she never broke stride, never turned her head, in a white dress. And
Yo, man, Will, this is so crazy.
On my Bible, my hand on the Bible, nobody can tell me. I know what I saw. And it's like, if ghosts exist, who's controlling the ghosts? You know what I'm saying? There's a whole nother realm of things that I know are there.
Yeah.
And God's got to be on top.
We're gonna hit that another.
I'll never forget that as long as I live. But
we're gonna hit that another time. Definitely.
It left me speechless. But you look like you want to say something.
That was very dope, man. That was very serious.
I'll never forget that as long as I live. But good. To finish my thought while you're thinking, I don't want to. They say it's taboo to talk about politics and religion and stuff on podcasts. The fact that you can't even talk about it, to me, is part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? You're not even supposed to talk about it, and it doesn't make any sense. Religion.
Well,
faith.
It depends. The book spoke about blasphemy. So once you're religious, once you've gone through religious, you always know about blasphemy. So That's the thin line. That's the whole thing. Because what do you want to speak on?
Well, listen,
blasphemy exists, and then
before I let you, I'm gonna say this. I grew up Christian my whole life. I'm not in a position to say that 8 million Buddhists were wrong or 50 million Muslims were wrong. I'm not even qualified to even pretend. And if I was, I still wouldn't. I have no right to say anything about anything. I just know what I believe, what's been in my life, and how I'm supposed to proceed. And that faith is what keeps me positive.
That's
I'm not
cool,
exactly
man.
where I want to be in life, but I know there's always hope, and I still believe. I just feel for the people that have nothing to believe in. And that's what hurts me more than anything when I talk about faith, you know?
Yeah. So this all of this does play into what we've been talking about.
Right.
I know we have been using the term, black and white just because base those, but really it's not about black and white. It's about power structures in the higher places, right? That attempt to play groups against groups. And one of the things that they've been doing is that the source of our power is the understanding of there being a God, a source, something, right? And so there has been an intentionality to rip us away from that, because that is the foundation of strength.
Right.
And,
That's right.
And so that's one of the plays, coming against the church or the mosque or whatever it is. People are moving away from decentralized religion, and I'm not going to say that spirituality is bad. I think that spirituality is good if it's real, But here's what I believe. My belief. This is what I teach. And it also will speak to what you just said about your dad's ex-wife.
Yes, ex-wife.
I believe, and there is a field of science now that also has come into this understanding as well, through quantum mechanics and quantum physics, that each and every one of us are fragments of God.
Okay.
There's a piece of God in every one of us. And when we go inside and we find that piece of God and strengthen that understanding, I think the world will be a better place. First of all, because how we treat each other, but also in understanding who we are.
Right.
That goes back to becoming powerful. And when I say powerful, I'm not saying powerful in order to take advantage of someone else, but powerful in understanding who I am. Right. So now, I believe we are fragmented pieces of God, which is a spiritual conscious being housed in physical flesh. And even at death, where the physical flesh goes away, the fragment, the conscious, the spirit still moves. It never dies. It just is released out of its flesh capsule. Mm. And so, is it possible for that you saw? I believe you. I believe you could have saw her outside of her physical flesh and her consciousness or spirit, her being, in the presence in that room, right? And so that goes right along with my understanding of how things work.
Listen, I appreciate that, but honestly, it don't matter to me whether you believe or not.
Correct,
I know
correct.
what I saw.
Yeah,
I don't need a cosigner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And But I do appreciate that. And listen,
but how does that now? How does that now speak to your life about how you now move forward?
It tells me that belief system wise, there's something I'm doing right. You know what I'm saying? It led me to that point. That's the most, I guess, out of body experience. You know, I was in body. You know what I mean? Kind of sort of experience that I couldn't even ask for. You know what I'm saying? How can I doubt anything after that?
Yeah.
Because I know what I saw. You know, and I think that's one of the biggest strengths of Black people is our faith. You know what I'm saying? And it's a strength that we have to still nurture and reinforce in us, because it's the strength of our hope. And it's just, especially when you get later on in life too. When you're young, you got dreams of doing all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, things start getting taken away from you. You know what I'm saying? Not just people, but opportunities and this and that. And you tend to dwell or live in the past. And that can be a bad thing too. You know what I'm saying? You got to always continue to challenge yourself and find new opportunities and just keep going.
What if you come to the point and say these things are just things? That life is greater than just these things. That's what you saw.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. How does that impact you moving forward in life if you're able to say, hey, I saw something that showed me that life is more, or existence or whatever it is more than even the things that we see physically.
I mean, it's crazy.
Now, how does that thought empower you? And how does that thought then?
Man.
I know.
Yeah,
trust
we
me.
good.
I'm saying, all right.
No, you're good. It's just we right at the time limit. I do want to answer that one before we cut this off. It's one. It not only does it always want me to honor the ones that we've had and that have been here, because obviously that means you're still watching. You know what I mean? And I think about that even because we're not all perfect. Sometimes we're doing good stuff. Sometimes we're doing stuff we know we shouldn't be doing and all. And it kind of hits me at those moments. You know what I mean? Like, and it's, listen, we're going to end it on that note right there, because we might have to come. It's part 2 time. You do understand this, right? We barely got down the list.
If I tell you what, if y'all want to see me come back with these guys, not only hit the like button, but say Dr. Q in the chat.
And if you want to see Dr. Q, you're more than likely to check him on Sundays at Williams Institutional Church on 131st and so between 131st and 132nd, Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard, 7th Avenue. The man's there every day. It's been an inspiration to me as well. And we got so much more to talk about. This is what the town's about. This is what we need to be talking about. No more games, y'all. You know, time's illmatic, as my man Nas said, and we can't waste any more of it. KK, what you got? You
already like, share, and subscribe. And like Dr. Q said, leave a comment.
Indeed. Town Crier. That's what we do.
Take some time just to meditate. Listen while I educate. I've been busy bridging the gap, so we let's separate. Silence in the syndicate. Close, but we don't get it yet. Traders to the state. I'm Xing out all the middlemen. Hyped up off adrenaline, watching that thing transpire. Calling out the lies, feeling like the town crier. Who's the main antagonist and who's the outlier? They could try to hide them, but I'm here to outline them. Laws, they ain't bulletproof. You know I'll find them. I was born looking for the truth. Knowledge is in my root. Wildin' like Bandicoot. Haters be a fan of Q. Treat them all like hands.